there's only one thing that we care about today. We're going to make a decision that's going to maximize the value of this company today and going into the future. And why is that important, Michael? We live in a very competitive environment, right? You got people that are hounding you all the time. You're competing for deals. You got a lot you got to deal with, right? We're going to beat them all. We're going to be the best. Our goal is to maximize the value of this company so that there is nobody else in the market that can compete with us.
So that I'm still wondering, what are you going to tell me?
You'll see. Listen, you'll see. Well, this is important though, Michael. The point is that we're going to maximize the value of this company. And the tools that we're going to use are very important for that. Okay, and that's why I need to tell you this. We're not just going to look at factory. We're going to see what is going to produce the most net value for this company. All right? Now, we have a bunch of ways that we can analyze the different financial tools that we have at our disposition. Okay? But at the end of the day, what we're looking at here is cash flows. What we're looking at here is a stream of money. So we need to consider which is the financing tool that's going to make us the most money, and by extension, make this company the most valuable. So there's a lot of ways to do it. We're going to use a little bit of a unique approach because we do have different time frames. We got a 3-year loan, we got a 15-year loan, we got a 10-year loan. What we do know is that we have an asset and it's producing income, and we have a general idea of what the income is going to produce for the next 10 years is. And I gotta be honest with you, 10 years is a very good holding period. You know, given your company's history, it's a very good number to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to derive a net present value using each of the 3 different financing instruments on both properties. Now, we got to make a lot of assumptions for that, obviously. And first among them is the holding period of the property. So it is somewhat of an arbitrary decision what that number is going to be, but trust me, that's one of the decisions that's going to allow us to compare everything on the same page, apples to apples, and be able to derive what's going to make the most valuable, what's going to make us as a company the most valuable, all right? So what I'm going to do is explain to you a little bit about some of the assumptions that we made, explain to you a little bit about the mindset behind the calculation, and then we're going to give you our actual recommendation. This stuff, you know, you can look at it later. For the most part, here's the thing. We're gonna break this down to 2 basic looks. Number 1 is of the 3 finance for both properties, of the 3 different tools that we have, which financial analysis, which financing tool we're going to use, right? The mini firm, the securitization, the live loan. And secondly, what is our desired loan to value? Now, that poses a question. You got 2 properties, you know, one of them you finance less of it, you're obviously going to have less money. You're obviously going to have more money in your pocket because you have less of a mortgage. But we're not passive players. We're not just going to sit around putting money in our bank, hanging out at home and not doing anything. We're going to actively go out and reinvest this money. So we can't just analyze this without not considering that. We need to analyze, you know, we invest a certain amount, we have these 2 buildings, we take a mortgage out. Depending on that, we have a certain amount of equity. What do we do with the rest of that money? Okay? I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'm not going to leave it in the bank or, you know, it's not going to make any money. We got to reinvest it. So what we did is, for this analysis, we took the cap rates of the respective properties and used that as our opportunity cost. Why? If I have an office building here, and I know I can take out $1 million, you know, with the refinancing, and I put it into another property, I can at least expect to get the market cap rate on that type of asset. So for the office building, we use the cap rates that are in the market for office buildings. For the shopping centers, likewise, we use that. Okay. Some of the other assumptions that we made: the 3-year mini-perm loan, we refinanced it every year, every 3 years, until we got to 10 years. Okay, including all the financing costs involved with all that. So let's just skip forward to the actual analysis. All right, the meat of this. All right. So, here you can see, I want you first to look at this number at the top of each one, all right? What is that? That is the equity difference of the amount of money that we take out, that we forego by financing that specific amount, all right? Now, mind you, this is maximizing, this is getting a loan to value ratio at the maximum that we can according to the ratios. Next, well, I'll show it to you right now. Next is going to be at 50% loan to value. Again, with the assumption all this extra equity, we're reinvesting it into other properties, all right?
Wait, I feel quite not sure. Which is number we should look for?
Which is what?
Which numbers we should look for?
Okay.
So this
First
is
one,
based
this
on-
slide is max loan to value. That means using the criteria given to us in the paper, and what you provided for us, Michael, given that, we're using the maximum loan we can take out, okay? Now, remember, whatever extra equity we have, we're immediately investing that. You know, to a certain extent, it's a theoretical calculation, but since we're using the cap rate as the opportunity cost, that extra money, we're putting it to produce, all right? So,
So when you do that, so whenever you have something cash out, you immediately invest it
immediately,
using the cap rate.
correct.
Which number would you look for? Is the 1.9?
The most important number is the net present value of each one of these scenarios. For example, here's the main term, the derived securitization. All these for the Bedrock Office Park.